Good evening, live from the news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. Here we present to you tonight's news bulletin. First, the headlines. The implementation of the main stage of a Shimukh 2 exercise continues as the Minister of Royal Office pays a visit to field commands of the ground operations. Oman Partnership and Social Responsibility Forum discusses quality criteria and means of sustaining social responsibility programs. And the Cultural Creativity Conference in the Digital Era discusses challenges facing technical creativity. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos received a cabal of thanks from His Excellency President Joko Widodo of Indonesia in reply to His Majesty's cabal of condolences on the victims of earthquake which took place in the Lombok Island. His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed Al Nu'mani, Minister of Royal Office, paid visit to field commands at the Theatre of Ground Operations. The visit included Armored Vehicles Command, Infantry Brigades 23 and Sultan Special Forces participating in Shimukh 2 and Swift Sword 3 exercises. His Excellency, the Minister of Royal Office, was briefed on the role and tasks of armored vehicles during the two exercises and what has been implemented of operational tasks and duties, along with the plans and the current preparations for the subsequent phases of the exercise. He was also briefed on military actions and procedures to be taken against assumed difficulties. After that, His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed Al Nu'mani paid a visit to the premises of the Field Command of Sultan Special Forces to acquaint with roles and tasks of Sultan Special Force participating in the two exercises and means of implementing duties it undertakes. Major General Matar bin Salim al-Balushi, Commander of Royal Army of Oman and Head of Joint Forces, paid a visit to the headquarters of Infantry Brigade 11 and the Firak Forces. He got acquainted with work progress and readiness to implement later phases according to the master's plan of the two exercises, Shimukh 2 and Swift Sword 3, and the accompanying plans. The head of the Joint Forces was briefed on the tasks and duties of the Infantry Brigade 11 and Firak Forces during the two exercises. He was also briefed on military actions and procedures to be taken against assumed difficulties. He praised role and efforts exerted by Infantry Brigade 11 and Firak Forces in supporting land forces spread at theatres of operations. The Sultan's armed forces, along with other security bodies, continue the implementations of the main stage of Shimukh 2 exercise within the framework of preparedness of all the military sectors to achieve joint works goals. The land forces represented in the Royal Army of Oman were able to conduct their tasks and the movement of their formations units within the operation field. Meanwhile, the aerial forces represented in the Royal Air Force of Oman played their role in the exercise through aerial support and transporting combat equipment and arms. The Royal Navy of Oman transported some of the land forces through its fleet so as to support them according to the joint plans and procedures. The Royal Air Force of Oman continues its planning and implementations of various tasks within the framework of making Shimukh 2 and Swift Sword 3 exercises successful. It's also coordinating with the Joint Command to fix flights for the military operations. The Royal Air Force of Oman contributes in supporting other military bodies and units to complete their duties and missions that serve the ongoing events of both exercises. The Royal Air Force of Oman also continues to provide transport means for equipment, administrative and technical resources within the aim to ensure the performance of its tasks and duties efficiently according to the plans of the Joint Operation Commands. The Sultan's armed forces, along with the rest of the state's military, security and civil sectors, also continue the implementation of the upcoming stages, plans and events of the national exercises. The National Multi-Hazard and Early Warning Center announced the end of direct effects of the tropical system Luban, with chances of isolated rainfall on the governorates of the Far and Al Wusta today. These came after the National Committee of the Managing Exceptional Weather System held a meeting that studied the latest development and analysis of the tropical system. The committee expressed gratitude and appreciation to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Saeed for the great attention given to the Public Authority for Civil Aviation in general and to the Directorate General of Meteorology in particular. The second session of Oman Partnership and Social Responsibility Forum started today in Muscat. The event was presided over by Her Highnesses Sayyida Dr. Muna bint Fahad Al Saeed. More details in the following report by Saleh bin Khalfan Al-Rahbi.
The second session of Oman Partnership and Social Responsibility Forum took place in Muscat today, aiming to offer sustainable social responsibility programs, share experiences of success, and raise standards of responsible community performance.
The CSR is not anymore about charity, it's not about donation, it's not about the volunteering. CSR should be in the corporate purpose of every organization, and its successful is required by the implementation of the CSR policies that impacts the community, the environment, and the people we work with.
The forum focuses on two themes: sustainability mechanisms of social responsibility programs and challenges of organizing social responsibility sector and the procedures and legislations to develop it. The second day of the forum will be dedicated to holding training sessions by specialists and experts in the field of social responsibility and public relations in many areas, including the role of human resources in the sustainability of CSR programs and the basics of the philosophy of social responsibility. For the Sultanate of Oman Television, Saleh bin Khalfan Al-Rahbi, Muscat.
You're watching the Sultanate of Oman Television, and still to come in our news bulletin. 13th Oman Food and Hospitality Exhibition is launched. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Arab ministers of culture participated in the Egyptian Minister of Culture celebration of the 60th anniversary since its establishment. On the sidelines of the ceremony, the Arab ministers of culture held their 21st meeting in the capital city of Egypt, Cairo, in cooperation with the Arab League Educational, Cultural and Scientific Organization, ALISCO. The meeting, which witnessed the participation of the Sultanate, discussed a number of topics, mainly Arab cultural project, current challenges and establishing Arab identity. The Sultan's delegation to the meeting was chaired by His Excellency Sheikh Hamid bin Hilal Al-Ma'mari and the Secretary of the Ministry of Heritage and Culture for Cultural Affairs. The meeting entitled this year, Al-Quds Belongs to Arabs. The ministers discussed the current cultural challenges facing the Arab world. They as well discussed the impacts of audiovisual media along with social media networks on the Arab cultural content. Cultural Creativity Conference in the Digital Era discussed enhancing the social culture and stance and the challenges facing the technical creativity in the field of culture. The conference focused on the contributions of the technical creativity in the fields of cultural and economic developments and encouraged the creativity or creative youth to provide new ideas in the cultural investment. The conference came as recognition of the importance of supporting creative people in various fields in the Sultanate of Oman. Coinciding with the Omani Women Day, which falls on the 17th of October every year, and within the aim to highlight her scientific and cultural role, the Minister of Endowments and Religious Affairs organized a seminar on the Omani women's scientific movement. The two-day seminar reviewed 16 research papers, namely a typical analysis of Hind bint Muhallab bin Abi Safra, to get acquainted with her different roles, whether in the scientific or political fields. A host of women working in various fields took part in the event. It stressed that royal care accorded by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos to Omani women resulted in empowering them as to occupy different positions in the country. The seminar called upon women to preserve these achievements and strengthen their role in the society. The Sultan's biggest food and hospitality event, Food and Hospitality Oman Exhibition, was opened at the Oman Convention and Exhibition Center today under the patronage of His Excellency Ahmed bin Nasser Al-Mherzi, Minister of Tourism. The annual trade show will once again offer its audience about 400 top local and international brands from close to 100 companies. The brands representing 20 exhibiting countries cover the entire gamut of the food and hospitality sector, with products and services relating to food products, beverages, agriculture and fisheries, catering and kitchen equipment and others. The country representations from Belarus, China, Egypt, India, Iran, Italy, Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, South Korea, Spain, Thailand and United Arab Emirates. A dedicated Omani products pavilion will feature the leading food brands in Oman. A special attraction this year is the first time participation of Belarusian companies under the theme Belarus, the Taste of Nature. These companies are producers of meat and dairy products as well as food producers. Belarus is known for its high-quality food and food products and gourmet cuisine. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The implementation of the main stage of Ashimokh 2 exercise continues as the Minister of Royal Office pays a visit to field commands of the ground operations. Oman Partnership and Social Responsibility Forum discusses quality criteria and means of sustaining social responsibilities programs. And the Cultural Creativity Conference in the Digital Era discusses challenges in facing technical creativity. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman Television. From the entire news team and myself, Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubi'i, we thank you for joining us, wish you a pleasant evening and good night.